to Cooperville.
Well, hello everybody. Hello and welcome to Cooperville Live. Wherever you are viewing, thank you. We got a big show coming up today. Lots to discuss. We're talking music with country singer-songwriter Tyler Hammond, and we're talking Epic Willie's Adventure with the one and only Phil Norville of Max Built Off-Road and Manufacturing. It's a huge show today. Excited you are here. Excited to be here. Countdown is 2 sleeps. 2 sleeps until we are on the road for Epic. Much to talk about with that on the show today. Joe, he's got him up, and I like it. Toasty out there today, Joe. This is not your forte, my friend. I was outside. I was like, oh, damn. It's thick. It's just spicy. And when you get thick and spicy, you know what happens. Thunderstorms, usually. Where did you think I was going with that? Craziness. Let's, I'll I'll do the things over here. CoopervilleClothing.com is the website. The GFY collection, which dropped last week, is hot. It's on fire. We got tees, we got 3/4 length, and we got the hoodies. You know why? Because even though it's toasty, it's spicy today, the transition will come soon enough where you have to go from the t-shirt to the 3/4 length and eventually to the hoodie. Check those out, CoopervilleClothing.com. Go Smudge Yourself stuff is up there as well. Obviously, everything we've released is all available online at CoopervilleClothing.com. But that notepad, though, I was rocking that the last couple days. Lots of peeps commenting on it. They like it. I like it spicy. Captain Coop's Beard Company. Nick's going to be out at Riverfest coming up this weekend, right there on the beautiful Chipper River. So stop on out. Beard oils, beard balms, beard butters. We're going to have some of our swag out there as well to purchase with the blackout tees and the women's racer back. Hopefully, we ordered them like 3 weeks ago. We still haven't got them yet. Oh, no. We got eye patches for the kids. We got all sorts of fun stuff. But if you are just in the market for top shelf, all natural beard goodness for you or your bearded friends or family, check out CaptainCoops.com. And, of course, big shout-out to Midwest Meals, MidwestMeals.com. 16 signature meals. Build your own. They got protein and veggies and carbs by the pound for whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish. Maybe you're just trying to take care of lunches for the week. Boom, order 5 of them and you're set to go. Maybe lunch and dinner. They got breakfast stuff in there, too. Yeah, snacks. The chocolate cookie Cravings Crusher protein balls are fantastic. Except I have a slight addiction, so they come in like a case of 4. And I'm like, well, that's one sitting. So I have to order a couple extra. If you do check them out, don't forget to get your order in by Friday, and then they ship nationwide on Mondays. And I use the promo code Cooper at checkout, and you get 10% off your order at MidwestMeals.com. And good stuff going on over there all the time. All the time. My camera just is moving by itself. Perhaps the ghosts. No, we have a big show today. I'm super excited to talk to Tyler Hammond. He's got a brand new song out and video to go along with it for I've Been Better. We're going to talk to him about that. And as usual, we'll talk about all the musical stuff and getting through the last 18 months. And then I know dude's been doing a lot of shows. I've seen him out, like just cranking it up. So that'll be fun. We'll talk to him, and then Phil joins us later on this afternoon to get us prepped and ready for Epic. If you're not following Epic Willie's Adventure on Instagram and on Facebook, please go do so. You can follow along in our journey as Kansas City on Thursday, and then we launch Friday morning from CarQuest in Independence, Missouri, on the trail, the Oregon Trail, the OT, out to Oregon City. Be in Oregon City, I think the 27th. That's the hope. And prayers and all the other stuff. Because, I mean, these things, if you follow the show on, thank you, Regulis. I think. Thank you for following. If you follow the show or you follow anything that I've been posting, you've seen that we're going in, I mean, old school Jeeps. Like the Army, made the Jeeps. Or commanded the Jeeps be created. And these are like from that era. And all the technology that goes along with it is from that era. The radio that we have in Amos, the vehicle that Phil and I are rolling in, has a radio from the 1940s. I don't know if it works, but it's in there. It's going to be really cool. And we'll be doing the podcast live from the road, at night after we get done with a day's worth of travel. And we go through all the experiences and the beautiful places that we're going to visit and drive through and obstacles I'm sure that will arise. We will be sitting around the campfire, hopefully, and chatting about all the things that happen throughout the course of that day. You can follow along with that. Again, if you go to any podcast platform and follow Welcome to Cooperville, you'll be able to get that stuff. Believe? I believe. Gonna be fun, though. I started to pack today, or started to arrange things in a particular order because I have not much space. for my necessities. It's like, and I realized that I'm a heavy packer. Like I was like, do I need to have 14 t-shirts? Will we be just wearing t-shirts multiple days in a row? Obviously, if you watch the show, you know I wear a different hat every day. I have a collection of hats that spans into like 3 closets in the house. So I'm like, which hat should I take? Then I got into concern about like coordinating outfits. I'm like, does any of this really matter? This is going to be an adventure. Nobody really knows what the weather is going to be like. Supposedly, it's going to get toasty. That's seemingly the trend as we get further south and we start to head out west. Just wing it. Just wing it. That's what I should do, but I feel like I should have some survival things, you know? Like, how much beef jerky do I believe I could consume over the course of 16 days on the road? I don't know. I know I can sit down and eat a whole bag of beef jerky and then feel guilty because they're like $20 a bag. Times 14. I'm not a math guy, but yeah, I'm going to have to wing it. But Phil will join us and we'll talk about Epic Willie's Adventure. Again, please go follow Epic Willie's Adventure on all the socials as that adventure literally kicks off in like 56 hours. Nicole's kind of like, we're starting projects. Like, I feel like I'm going to come home and things are going to be completely different. But that's cool. I'm down with that. Super excited to talk to my first guest on the show today. Discovered Tyler Hammond on the Instagram and instantly fell in love with the sound and all the things he's got going on. And I'm proud that he has found some time to join the show. There he is. Tyler, welcome, and good to see you, my friend.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Dude, the dream. We're living it over here. How about yourself?
Hey, they tell me that's what I'm doing.
Well, you are, man. You are living your dream. Is that not correct?
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's awesome, man. Well, first and foremost, thank you for being on the show, and thank you for "I've Been Better" is the best breakup song possibly ever written. I love it, man. I just love it.
That's that's kind of when we sat down to write that song. That's what it was all about. Because it's like, man, most breakup songs are sad and slow, and I'm like, dude, there's actually every breakup I've ever been through has been like the best thing that ever happened to me. So I'm like, dude, I got to write like a happy breakup song.
Did you go through that too? I mean, from personal experience, you're like, well, yeah, it was upsetting, but then I realized, look at all the stuff I can go and do now.
Exactly. It's happened once or 10 times. You know?
You're not a numbers guy. You just heard me trying to do math. It was like, I'm not doing math. I don't do numbers. That's not my gig. That's cool, man. Well, congratulations on the song, and I want to talk more about that in the video as we get through the course of this conversation. But I want to take you back to when kind of music got started and influenced you to decide that music was something to pursue and not just become a fan of. But was it a young age that music found its way into your ears and then and into your blood?
Man, so looking back at it, it's always been a part of me, but it was never anything that I pursued. Man, I grew up playing sports my whole life, hunting, fishing, like it's all I really cared about. I didn't even start playing music till I was in college. Oh. And I mean, my stepdaddy played guitar, and he taught me 3 chords, which were Sweet Home Alabama chords. And I realized that girls like guys that could play guitar, so I learned a couple more. And then through college, I kind of played just a little bit here and there, nothing that was super serious. I had a buddy of mine that ran a venue and gave me a free bar tab to come play some songs. So I'm like, this is kind of cool. And then I graduated. I worked for a year, and then I was kind of like, dude, I think I'm going to try this music thing because it's way more fun than, anything else.
Yeah, it's always intriguing to find out like when that point comes, because obviously you went to college, you got the education thing, dialed in, and then you have to make that decision of like, okay, obviously I whatever you graduated with a degree in, you're like, I can go and pursue this, get myself a job, become an adult, or I kind of got this thing that I really enjoy doing, that I'm passionate about, that I would really be cool to wake up every day and be able to to do in this vein, in this genre. That's one of those life decisions. That's one of those big choices.
Especially, it's like you're gonna be broke, but you're gonna have a great time. So And I was just kind of like, hey, while I'm young, while I can still do this, I'm gonna give it a go, and hadn't slowed down since.
Well, that's cool though, man, because I think people get into kind of the habitual routine of I go to school and then I graduate, and then when I'm done I get my job, and then I get married, and then I have 2.5 kids, and then I get the house, and I have a 1 week of vacation a year. We usually go to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and
Right.
you fall into the box. But when you have a desire to do something, which you are extremely talented at doing, so I'm glad that you made this choice.
Thank you, man.
That's the kind of stuff that inspires other people. If you'd ever noticed that, like maybe other artists around you, that you just kind of like, man, we're out doing this. Like we're out like things that we just dreamt about and kind of thought, that'd be kind of cool to do. Now we're out, making music videos, and we're out playing shows, and we're out doing weeks in Vegas, doing
Yeah.
crazy shit.
For real. It's kind of hard to think about, but man, one of the coolest things ever was I grew up in a little town called Thomaston, Georgia, and a guy named Coy Bowles is from Thomaston who plays guitar and keys for Zach Brown. And I was at his house one day, and he goes, man, he said, no matter what anybody ever tells you, like, you've made it because you make a living playing music. And he's like, no matter if you're on my level or your level, wherever you're at, like, your career is playing music, and that's pretty freaking cool. And I'm like, yeah, man, honestly, like, it really is.
Do you find that because I've talked to some other artists who've come from smaller towns, but there's some connection to an artist who has made it to the upper levels, playing main stages and playing headlining stuff. Do you find that when you have somebody that has come from your small town but has found themselves in that position, that you feel there's that the avenue it's open, like the road, it's not like, oh, well, we can try. You're like, oh, well, Dudski's out crushing it with, ZBB whenever he wants to, whenever they're doing shows. Do you feel like that kind of gives you that, a little more encouragement on top of already, being very passionate about what you're doing?
Oh, 100%. It is. I mean, it's cool because, like, everywhere we tour around, I can say Thomaston, Georgia, nobody has any idea where that is. It's like a 6,000 population, and the fact that a dude's playing stadiums with Zach Brown from that same town, I mean, it's really cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, you've had, I know you've been busy as of late, but tell me about the last 18 months has been a little bit of a challenge for people, especially if you're making a living making music. One of the big ways that you do that is you go out and you're playing shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and doing maybe some, weekday shows too. What's the last 18 months been like for you before you kind of started kicking ass again? Like, what did you spend your time doing? Where was your focus at over, lockdowns and all that crap?
Oh, man, it was the biggest change I've ever gone through. I mean, I've been doing this full time for like 8 years now, and we've stayed very busy doing it. So all of a sudden, I had every one of my booking agents contact me and say, we have to cancel every date indefinitely because we didn't know when it was going to start back. And so to go from 3-4 days a week, I mean, we're touring 47, 48 weeks out of the year.
Wow.
To nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And of course, as I said, for, at that point, it was 7 years or something, like that was my only source of income. My whole world was turned upside down. And, I've been doing the full band stuff for a very long time, but after probably a few months, luckily, the home state of Georgia, kind of like restaurants and stuff, and it was either me and a buddy, I'd go back and play like restaurants and, honestly, anywhere that would be, hey, we'll come pay you a little bit of money to,
right.
Come play some songs and playing private parties. And, luckily, again, doing this for as long as I have, I've had a lot of connections and met a lot of great people. And so, at that time, they're like, hey, look, just come to the house. We'll throw a party since we can't do anything else. Or, come play at this restaurant, this wing shack or this Mexican restaurant, just anything. And so, it kind of changed from being all over the country to I was going to Georgia almost every week just to try to survive. But it was good. I actually got to spend a lot of time with my family, and we stay gone so much that I haven't been able to do that. And so, for a little while it was a good thing, man. I got to kind of reconnect with the family and spend a lot more time with them.
Do you find that, I call it kind of the tapping of the brakes, what 2020 into 2021 was, because obviously there's still momentum, you're still moving forward, but do you feel like the tapping of the brakes and having to go and play some of these shows, play restaurants, play in the Wing Shack. I'm sure is they give you some cash and like in a gift card. You're like, well, I guess I'll have some hot buffalo while I'm here. But do you feel like that gives you first an appreciation of what you've gotten to do and what you're kind of getting back to doing, but also like an opportunity to kind of like get back to those three chords and being the acoustic stuff and intimate venues where sometimes people aren't necessarily, they're trying to eat their wings, they're all sloppy and they got stuff all over their face. And you're like, all right. So does it kind of give you like a new perspective as you move forward back into full band stuff and getting back out on the road?
Oh, definitely. I mean, and it was cool because, again, I got to connect with people that I haven't, maybe seen in a while because, I don't make it to these places anymore to play at. But so, I mean, that part is always really cool. And now, I'm still trying to stay connected with some of them. Maybe if they want me to come do something during the weekday, if I'm, in Georgia passing through, like I'll stop by and continue to do that stuff because, I mean, it was kind of fun. Just it's not as serious. It's very laid back. Again, I can sit there and eat some wings and drink a couple beers and tell stories and lies and, whatever. Like, and those are the times, when we're doing the full band stuff, a lot of times it's set list. We got guys and clicks in our ears and you got to stay on this one particular thing. But then it's like somebody else like, hey, play Dinosaur. I'm like, yeah, play some Hank Jr., play some Merle, play some way. Like, I take requests and it's kind of fun to just cut up and act a fool with some friends,
Yeah, and I wonder, and I wonder if it plays like back into the full band stuff when there is that set list. There's obviously a time limit. You're on from this time to this time. You have your 45 or your 90, whatever you're playing. But to be able to integrate some of that fun into it, the joking around and maybe things that you pick up, at the Wing Shack or at the taco joint, whatever, you're like, that actually went over really well. How would it translate, on a stage, a bigger stage? So it's again, it's a tapping of the brakes, and I'm glad that you had a chance to get out because I know there were some artists that were kind of like, well, I'll be on Instagram, just hanging out.
Pretty much. No, I did that for like, I don't know, a month or two, and I was going crazy. I'm a very social person. I like to get out. I like to do things. And it's like there was absolutely nothing we could do. Like I'm trying to sneak into a gym somewhere. Like, it's just
right.
It was tough times. And I'm not a big cardio guy. So like I didn't really want to go hiking or like jog.
That was the one blessing for me because I'm not a gym guy. I'm a cardio guy. So I'm like, well, I guess now I just keep doing what I was doing. I just keep running. Like, I don't get a break.
Dang it! Outside is still open.
Okay. Man, but do I wear a mask for doing this? No, I'm like, you can just go run. You're in Wisconsin. We don't care. Like, do your thing. No,
that's right.
How was you talk about doing a little bit of social media stuff, Instagram, whether it's doing a live or doing a video. Was that tough for you? Was it tough to kind of sit in front of your, right? I mean, we're doing it right now, but you're not playing. But like sit in front of your phone and be like, all right, well, like trying to, like my comments on my screen are like way over here and I can barely read them because I'm old, but is it tough to like, was it a challenge for you to get on Instagram and do that kind of stuff and be interactive?
I could only do it a couple of times. Yeah. It was very, very strange. I mean, it was cool. Like the support that I had, I'm so thankful for it. Like it really was awesome. But man, I'm sitting there just in front of a computer screen when I'm used to like, at least a couple people at the Wing Shack or something. But it was something that I had to try to get used to. And then I did it a couple of times. And I'm like, man, I think I'll just call my buddies and talk to them or, go have a cookout at the house and play some cornhole or something,
Right. Yeah. I mean, keep the mind active at least, but
yeah.
So do you remember like the first band show you did kind of when things started to open back up and you got a chance to get back out with the band and in front of human beings again? What was that experience like after having some time off and less wing bones flying around?
Yeah, man, it was actually really cool to see because I think we had all gotten to the point to where it's like, hey, okay, like we want to get out and, go experience a concert. We wanted to play it. And then as soon as this opened back up, every show we played was a bunch of people and everybody you could feel the excitement because people were had been cooped up for so long
Yeah.
that like their energy kind of transposed onto us, and like it was just a better show because everybody's kind of like, hey man, we're happy to be here. Like this is really cool to be back doing this after 8, 9, 10 months, however long it was. So
yeah, I remember talking about that on the show, like kind of not the midway point of lockdowns and stuff, but I was like, if a show comes through your town, I don't care what day of the week it is, there's no more it's a work night, there's no it's kind of late. Like you go to that show because you just went through 8, 10, 12 months of not being able to see anything live music except for, again, watching artists on Instagram was fun the first couple of times, and you're like, this audio is horrible. Like it's you're running through an eye until the upper level people got on there and they're running sound, and it's like, but you're still through an iPhone. But it was so, you knew that when things started to open back up and live music came back, that people were going to be just as enthusiastic as the artists were to get back out and see it and be involved with the show.
100%. It was really cool. And I mean, still, everywhere we've gone to, I feel like once we got back at it, it was busier than ever. Like at most all the venues that we've gone to. Like you said, we got back from Vegas, and I've been there. I've played there a few times, and I've never seen it, as packed out as it was when we were there this time that I can remember. And again, people were just excited to be actually out and in a venue and listening to live music again.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. I had a chance to host a big music festival a couple months ago now, and it was the first one back in our area, and we're kind of an area that's known for having like a plethora of large country music festivals over the course of like 6 weeks, but it was the first one, and just to see the people, I mean, like they had never experienced a show before. They were so in it. They were so there. And then as somebody who spent 20 years in radio and been a part of music festivals for the last decade, like knowing how well oiled artists are and how tight their shows are, and to see them go, I'm not, are we doing this in D? Do I need the capo? Like there was like, actually, because they were so into it too. And they, 2 rehearsals, after 18 months off, and like, there was a lot of that, which I think made that connection to the fan base a little more like, oh, cool, you're new at this too. Good, I don't feel so bad.
First time. Yeah, you just be like, hey, look, guys, we're gonna start that one over.
And nobody would, like Willie Nelson does that just in general, and everybody's like, yeah, play it again. They don't care. So I think maybe it's rubbing off on some other people right now.
That's right.
Oh. So, like I said, you've been busy at the Vegas run, and I know you've got a bunch of dates out there. Like what's the next, the last portion of this year look like for you? I mean, obviously you got a great song out there right now that I know you're pushing out. I've Been Better, by the way, if anybody that hasn't gone and checked it out yet or watched the music video. Like what's the next part of this year look like for you? Is it just getting out and kicking ass and taking names?
Pretty much. I mean, every week our calendar is very full. I'm very blessed to have that. I got 4 shows this week. I'm playing at Lake of the Ozarks. This coming weekend, I'm going to go to North Carolina. Then I'm down in Georgia the weekend after that. And I don't remember where it is.
Somewhere.
From then on, I know the next 3 weeks, not to look back. But, I'm just, again, fortunate and very happy to just be able to play, be able to get back and, make a living like I had been doing for so long. And, again, I to see everybody out there and, people have been excited. And even venues are just like, man, like, let's book as many dates as you want. We're just happy to be able to do this again. So it's been cool.
Yeah. And that was a lot of concern. I know we lost a lot of music venues, across the country over the last, over the last 18 months. So it's almost like the ones that survived, and I mean, thank God they did, like they're really embracing it now. They're like, well, now we have, this 500 cap room is closed down. Now we're kind of the place. So it seems like they're doing a lot of like, get them in, lock them in, and let's fill the calendar up, because they're realizing too the same thing that you have, is that people are coming out. I mean, they're nothing's stopping them from getting out to see live shows now, which is great to see.
Shoot, yeah, man, it's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Well, I've Been Better. The music video came out last week. Congratulations on that. Looks like that was a fun one to do. I mean, it's a fun song to start off with, but a fun music video to put together.
It was, man. It really was. And the guys that are, toured with me for the past few years, I got to put them in the video, and they, of course, they loved it. And we had a good time filming that and, you know, hanging out pretty much with my buddies and acting like we're rock stars.
You are. Yeah, take the credit, man. They take the credit, man. Rock stars. But it's got to be, as an artist, it's got to be cool to be able to put those things out, to have avenues to get, not just the music, obviously with the streaming platforms, or you have a bunch of stuff out on Amazon and on iTunes and everywhere music is heard. But to be able to put together music videos and get those out and have exposure on that, when back in my day, we used to have to watch television because they used to play music videos on television. They don't do that anymore, but to have outlets like like YouTube and places like that where you can get your stuff out and be able to do the rock star thing and share that with your fans, that's a fun experience, I bet.
Oh yeah, I mean, because this is one, it's two separate things. We released a song and everybody got to listen to it, and then a week later we put the video out, and it's one more reason for them to listen to the song again, honestly. And not only are people sharing the song itself, but people are sharing the music video, and we're just trying to spread the word and get as many people as we can to listen to it,
So it doesn't sound like you have much free time now that you're kind of back in high gear, but when you do have time off, those 3 days out of the week that you're not playing shows, what do you do to fill the gap? What takes up your quality time?
Honestly, like let's say my day job is writing songs. Like I had to write today, I write tomorrow, and then I leave Thursday. So it's and then once or twice, a week in Nashville. Of course, there's live music everywhere, so we'll go out and went to Whiskey Jam last night. Jamie Johnson played, nice. Riley Green, some writers and stuff. Morgan Wallen got up on stage and sang. John Part, like. We get stuff like that on a Monday here in Nashville, so those are pretty cool. And then I got a few little bars that play the traditional country music that I get to go to at least once a week at the nighttime to kind of jam out and listen to them.
So it's all music all the time.
And then except for once the fall comes, then Saturdays are for football and duck hunting. I spend a lot of time in the woods when I can. That's the only time I'll take time off. I tell the boys, I say, hey, look, I'm going to Arkansas this week. Don't call me. I'll talk to you when I get back, or I'm going down to Georgia to hunt. Like, I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Don't bother me.
Here's one of the telltale signs that you're from Georgia, besides the fact that you told me that you're from Georgia, is the fact that you said Saturdays are for football, and we have a little different perspective on what days we watch football.
I get it. And that's what's crazy. Growing up my entire life was that. And so once I started getting to tour and see these other parts of the country, I'm like, wait, y'all watch NFL? That's cool. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I watch some, it's a good reason to drink beer and have a cookout, watch some NFL and NASCAR, but it's like down south religion. It's Jesus and football are just like right there.
I had a friend of mine. We started our radio careers together back in the late 90s. And he ended up down in Fayetteville, Arkansas, doing radio down there. And I took a road trip down and I saw him for like a week and in the fall. And I was like, dude, this is wild. I'm like, I understand. It's Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've done Camp Randall, I've done Madison, I've seen Badger games, so I get it. But to see it from like, a different perspective, I'm like, wow, y'all do it different down here. Y'all just doing it a little different.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. We've done all right on Sundays though up here in Wisconsin, so we had a rough off season, but we're gonna be just fine. He's going to be just fine. Hey, Tyler, any I know you just had a new song out, but you still got, I'm sure as a writer, you have stuff that you're always putting pen to paper and you're always putting stuff out. So I would imagine that you have some things down the road that we're going to be hearing even more new stuff from you.
Yep. So when we recorded I've Been Better, actually recorded 4 other songs. And we're deciding, I can't decide if I'm going to do singles or a little EP or something, but I know we've got some songs kind of sitting there waiting. My favorite one of my favorites I've actually ever written is I've Been Better. So I was like, man, I'm going to push this music video, everything like that, and then follow it up with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 more. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely have some in the works to release hopefully pretty soon.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for the conversation, the time, telling your story, and I'm glad you're back. You know, not that you're not going to miss the Wing Shack, but I'm glad you're back with the band doing things. And everybody who hasn't done so already, please go and check out "I've Been Better" by Tyler Hammond. It's available everywhere. The music video is up as well, and follow him on all of his socials. We tagged you in everything we put it up today, so we'll do the same for the video.
I appreciate that.
Let's get you back on here, man. Maybe we'll talk college football if the Badgers, get a good start to the season. They're preseason ranked like 15th. I'm like, wait, what? What?
It's awesome.
15th? Come on. I watched this team last year. I'm surprised we made top 25. But I guess we'll take it, man. Tyler,
you let me know, bud. I can talk college football all day.
I'm in, brother. I'm in. Take care of yourself, and best of luck on the road with your shows that you got coming up. And let's get you back on sometime very soon, my friend.
That'd be awesome, man. Thank you for having me today.
No, dude, anytime. Tyler Hammond, ladies and gentlemen, right there on the show. "I've Been Better" is the song. You've heard me say it. Go listen to it. Make your Tuesday better. It's perhaps the greatest breakup song ever written. True. And I'm glad that he's got like true life experiences that he puts behind it. He's like, yeah, but I've been better. This makes it all better. Good stuff. At the Tyler Hammond on Instagram and also on Facebook, Tyler Hammond. Make sure you follow him on the socials and go stream his stuff. Got a great library of music, and it's so good to hear people getting back out and doing live shows. I know there's scary things that are out there that starting to scare some people off, but we had a very elaborate conversation about that yesterday with Dr. J. So if you missed it, go and take a listen, and you'll have a much fuller appreciation for it. We are going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with the one and only Phil Norvold. Epic Willie's Adventure kicks off technically on Friday, but we're heading down to Kansas City on Thursday to launch our trip to Oregon City via the Oregon Trail with no interstates, highways, GPS, none of that stuff. Just a lot of hope and a lot of dreams. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a bit. Stand by. I was jamming. I was just jamming to the tunes. Good stuff. Thank you again to Tyler Hammond for joining the show. Tyler Hammond on all the socials. Make sure you go and follow him and check out the song "I've Been Better." It's out now. The music video is fantastic. I always love when artists get to put together their videos for their, especially when he talked about how he feels like that's his best song. It's his favorite song. But to get to put the music video out and share that around on all the socials, it's cool. It's cool stuff, and like I said, it's a fucking killer song too. So we have a big show coming tomorrow, which I'll let you know about. Joe Catella from the band Dead, that's D-E-D, Dead, will be on the show tomorrow. Our last show before we're off on Epic Willie's Adventure. That'll be fun. I haven't talked to Joe in I think he's like last year. I think he was on. Remember. But he is back. Band's getting back out with some new music. They're getting back out on tour, doing a whole bunch of stuff within this moment, obviously, with that connection there with him and Maria Brink. So cool stuff coming up tomorrow, 5:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Joe Catella from Dead joins the show. I remember meeting them like right when their first song hit. Anti-Everything was a fantastic song, and they came into the studio and they did a whole acoustic thing, which is really weird because it's like a pretty banging song. And they came in, stripped it down. It was super rad. They did that, and to see their trajectory just kind of, a bunch of big tours and a bunch of big things, and some awesome stuff. And appreciative that he jumped on. And it's like, yeah, we'll do it. Get on before the tour. And I said, well, get on before I'm out of town. And he was like, all right, let's do it on Wednesday. And I said, all right. So that's coming up tomorrow on the show. What else we got coming up? Y'all know about Epic? That's happening. It is 2 days away. Phil is going to have all the answers, which is, I don't want to say this is 100% completely self-serving, but I haven't been able to track Phil down to answer some questions that I have about this old trip. Like, I finally got the size of the crate that I get to keep my shit in, like all the stuff I need for 16 some odd. It's like that big. That was my question. And now that we have all that figured out, I can see that he is his beautiful smiling face. Oh, it's right there. Phil, he is here. Oh, he is so ready. You are so ready and so excited. Epic Willie's Adventure is about to happen. Amos.
Do you guys, maybe everybody wants to know what it's like in here.
I was blessed to be able to have a moment in Amos a couple days ago, and it was the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, it's definitely. Just wait, bud.
Are you ready?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So ready. I'm so ready. It's not even funny. Also, a little public service announcement. If anybody has a truck and a trailer that wants to haul 2 Willie's Jeeps to Kansas City, about 20 minutes ago, our ride fell through. So that's cool. You know, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. We'll figure it out.
Things will fall into place.
If I look a little frazzled, that's why.
Things will fall into place. They always do, right?
Absolutely. I'm not too worried about it. But check this out. Hang on. I got this today. Let me find a spot where everybody can hang out for a minute.
I like that.
Inside Amos. That sounds weird. All right, that works.
Everybody's inside Amos together.
We're all inside Amos. So this is so we stay hydrated. Look at this badass old water cooler I got today. That
was actually gonna be one of my questions. Like, hydration seems like it's gonna be an epic or a very critical part of Epic. How are we gonna stay hydrated? You all of a sudden miraculously come up with a water cooler.
Well, don't worry. I mean, that's cool. That's great. You know what else is great? Can I spin this around? Yeah, I think I can. Oop. Oh boy. Hang on here.
Oh, we still have you. Now we.
Oh, nope. Oh, it would do that like this. Done.
Voila! Look at that. It did work.
All right. So here's the deal. This is the other really cool part about hydration. So we do that. Then we come over here. And then we do this. Oh.
I feel like that is going to be a very key part of our trip, is that type of hydration.
Yeah. There we go. Now we're back. Absolutely. I think it's going to be crucial for the sanity of the trip. I want to shout out to Walter's Beer because they hooked us up with the whole setup.
That is a setup. That's Sean. Is Sean coming? I know he was on a teeter-totter there for a while if he was gonna make the trip, but he
well, because just like everything else, COVID, and COVID kind of threw a wrench in, and everybody's everything. But especially like, his stuff down there at the restaurant, but he's so busy now that he can't even find time to work on his Jeep to get it to go. So he's going to not be able to attend this year, but he's looking forward to the next opportunity.
Well, he did send us with most of his fine products, so I feel like in spirit, he will be. He'll be along with us right in the back of Amos, right there.
In spirits. In
spirits. Get it. So we are heading out. I'm just going to I want to give people a little bit of a synopsis of what we're doing here. So we leave on Thursday. We're heading down to Kansas City, Missouri. And then we're leaving the next day from Independence, Missouri. But there's a coup d'état, a send off, a fare thee well, wave the flag, go team go.
Hey, everybody, buy your last minute parts because you don't know when you're going to see a parts store again. So we've got we'll leave Thursday morning, probably around 10 a.m. in what I don't really know yet, but we'll get there. And then, so we'll cruise down. We'll actually have a chase vehicle. We'll probably roll down on the Gladiator. And then that way all the people can get down there, and then we can send the Gladiator back on a trailer back up north. And then Independence is like just the outskirts of Kansas City. So it's all kind of one and the same. And so we'll stay there and that night, and then we'll get at 7:30 the next morning. There's a car quest there, just right outside of Independence, and we'll have a couple hour send-off party, meet and greet to have some people come down, especially the Jeep community and some of the other shop owners, and I'm sure CarQuest folks that shop at those fine places will want to see what all the hubbub's about. Mm-hmm. So we'll be there hanging out, and then we head out and we go right downtown, right through the heart of Kansas City. Usually we don't mind driving through a city at like towards the end when we're all comfortable cruising around as a group in these old jalopies that you can't see real well out of anything, and the signals are not there, but we're just going to start the trip that way. And that usually leads to a little bit of frustration and irritation. But we'll get on the outside of the city, and then that's kind of when the magic happens. We start cruising. I think our first stop is Alcove Spring, which was a popular stopover on the Oregon Trail. Maybe. I mean, nobody's really here to tell me that firsthand. But
they didn't document very well outside of the video game from 1987.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been basing everything off of.
Well, it makes sense. That's. If we don't get dysentery, we didn't really live it.
That's right. Yeah, or a snake bite. I'd really rather not have one of those.
Yeah, both of them sound like something to avoid on this trip. And so when you sit down, because this is Epic 3?
Yes.
Epic 3. So when you sit down and you have a couple of Walters and you go, here's my plan for the next one, and the Oregon Trail comes up and you map it out, like what part of this trip are you the most like? Is it Kansas City where you're like, or is there another section of road or no road that you're like, I'm gonna keep some eyeballs on that one?
I get nervous about all of it because it's big undertaking. You feel really insignificant and small when you fire this thing up like in Kansas City and you start driving and you go, or the first hiccup, or the first weird noise, and you're like, man, I'm so far from anything. This is not good. And it's difficult. You know, we say no phones and no GPS, and we stick to that. We really do stick to that. We will have like our co-riders and whatnot. We want to be able to bring everybody else on this experience with us, and rather than going out and buying a whole bunch of GoPros, we will have a few, but you know, the phones take good video and whatnot. So we will have that to be able to document the trip, but we're really not going to lean on it on a crutch. And I think the drivers that kind of came up with those rules, really, it's a welcomed challenge. But again, then that makes you feel really small, because it's not like, oh, let me look up the closest TechNet shop to me and give them a shout and tell them that we're busting through the door. No, it's if you break down, you walk down the driveway and you knock on a door and you ask for some help, which is really, really cool because it keeps that human connection. But sometimes it gets really stressful and frustrating, and you push a lot of limits mentally more than physically by any stretch. And then you think about it and you're like, why is this even hard? People used to do this. This was how they did anything like this. So sure, it feels epic to us, but it's just, I don't think it should. So then that quells a lot of the nervousness, the apprehension. There's a healthy respect for what we're doing. And now that I think each time we do it, it's less and less. You know, I'm now more excited about going across Wyoming in like all dirt trail. You know, that's our goal, is to hit as little bit of pavement as possible in Wyoming. And that used to be terrifying. And now it's like, oh, it'd be really exciting. And in a normal Jeep, that's fine.
Yeah.
But in these, it's something a little different.
I was going to ask if there was a spot that you were like, I mean, obviously the whole trip looking forward to, but like, is Wyoming, is that like the space where you're like, man, to be out there and to be able to see the scenery, to be on dirt roads and be out in God's country? Is that your? I
think so, but I really think that I'm curious to know what Idaho has to offer. That's a state that I feel like is, if there's ever a flyover state, like who talks about Idaho? Nobody talks about Idaho. And really all we know about Oregon is that like all drugs are misdemeanors or something like that.
I don't even think they're misdemeanors. I think it's like literally the Wild West.
It's like, whatever, man. Yeah. Here's some blow and a donut.
Have a nice day. Here's some blow on your donut. Weird.
So I'm curious to know what Oregon's like, but looking at the maps and doing some of the studying for some of the roads, they're pretty interesting. It's not as easy to get from here to there. Like, you have to there's a lot of roads you're like, man, that just seems like the long way around. Oh, well, it's because the geography of the land forces you to go this route or that route. We were really hoping to be able to take Highway 30 from Willow Creek up through like the northern route, which is a little bit closer to what the game of the Oregon Trail, you know, like that, a little bit more on that. Also, if there's a path, someone took it, you know, when, like, looking back, like the Oregon, like what, and also when you get to Oregon, like, right, you did it. Yeah. But so we're going to be taking the southern route through the Blue Hills and whatnot, because like 30 is the interstate, and these things on the interstate's like a death wish. We'll get caught on a 4-lane at some point, and you'll be like, Phil. I mean, I know you just went skydiving, right? But let me tell you, when a semi-truck damn near clips the mirror off going 75 miles an hour past this, and the whole thing shakes and it darts all over the road, it's pretty. Some people say they see God.
Well, I feel like the skydiving thing was really just in preparation. Like, super rad. Like, it was super rad. I'm gonna hopefully go do it again in September. But it was like, Well, I did that.
Maybe you make
So,
it through Epic.
well, if that'll be my reward, if I make it and survive Epic, I can go jump out of an airplane again. There's some silver lining in there. But I know what's the total number of Jeeps that we have or Willys that we have going on this adventure?
So we have 8 Willys. So there's going to be my truck, 2 wagons, one nicknamed Old Smoky. One is Scott's Jeep. We don't have a nickname for it. We kind of came up with Dr. Gonzo, but we don't know if that'll stick or not. We have to talk to Scott. And then the Black Pearl, which is Tyler's CJ2A, which is your conventional old Willys Jeep. Old Greg, which is Cody's 3B, which has the high hood. I'm curious to know what that's going to look like. We have the Rusty Trombone, which is Adam's 2A. And Veronica, which is Dave's Forward Control, which is the ugliest and coolest Jeep of all, I think. It looks like I wanted to call it the Blueberry Express, but that name didn't stick. But Veronica, because she was the nickname of the gal who ate the chocolate in Willy Wonka. So close second. And then Ollie, who is our friend Keith and Sam, their Jeep, and they're out of Casper, Wyoming.
And
so I don't know if so that's 8.
That's 8.
Math.
Yeah. Numbers are hard. I don't like them.
I get it.
But we are now in, I believe we are, again, numbers like 36 hours from departure, somewhere in that window. But it seems like and you guys have been posting a bunch of videos up. So anybody who's watching, go follow not only Epic Willys Adventure, but also Max Built Off-Road and MFG on the social medias. But this is like, for some reason, everything has compacted itself into like the last 6 days. Do you feel confident that everything will be ready to go?
Oh, 80%.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, 100%. It'll work. It always works. It has to work. Anyways, it'll work. It'll be fine. This is the way it is every year. We knew going into you were a part of it, Coop. We tried to plan better. We totally did. We had plans to like wrangle in sponsors and really like make it a huge production. And then we're like, well, we're just not cut out for that kind of work. So we just did it all last minute, and we still got some phenomenal sponsors to back this. A couple of them I'll mention I'm really excited about. Benchmade Knives, that they came on board at the last minute. We've been, and it was because we used them. So for Christmas last year, I bought all the guys custom Max Built knives made by Benchmade. And I'll show it to you here. That's cool.
Right there.
See?
Oh, bam.
And it was cool. They had had everything custom built. So the crew has like a one of a kind thing. And so before our journey, we were like, hey, let's reach out and get them sharpened up and tip top shape, because they'll sharpen them and tune them up for the life of your life. And so we're looking at the address of where to send it. I was like, Oregon City, Oregon. Well, and I was like, I got on the phone with the gal that I worked with, Nellie, and we told her I thought it'd be really fun to, do a landing party and get to, get some exposure for their brand in a unique setting. I mean, this is a story that I think a lot of people want to hear and want to follow. It's really exciting and it's cool stuff. And it doesn't there's nothing staged about it. People are like, oh, are you going to go wheeling? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? No, we have like a destination only 200 miles from the previous place where we wake up. And that's it. Like, get there. And there's plenty of stories that'll come out of it. So she ran it up the flagpole with the marketing crew, and they're like, oh, absolutely. So they jumped on board, and they immediately sent us some of what they feel is their toughest knives for us to kind of test out. And and really put through the paces. I was going to show you one of them, but I can't seem to find it. It's around here somewhere. I'll just keep digging.
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag. So that was super cool. Now I got to look.
Now he's a man on a mission. Dedicated, committed.
Oh, wait. I don't even know if it was in here. I might not have put it in here, Cooper.
Fair enough.
Oh, driving me nuts, though.
Somewhere.
So it was cool, and they put the logos on all those, too. And it was really neat to hear and really neat to see that it wasn't somebody that we necessarily solicited. They just jumped on board because they make cool products that we use. Another one of those was Grizzly. We've used Grizzly coolers and Grizzly cups and Grizzly campware for a long time. They've supported Epic Willie's Adventure since the start. This was from the last one.
Nice.
It's dented and beat up, but man, it's my favorite cup. I use it for everything. Beer at night, maybe some whiskey, and then coffee in the morning.
Just rinse it out.
Exactly. I mean, you don't even have to do that, really, as long as you drink everything. Maybe have a glass of water just before bed.
Balance.
It's kind of rinsed out.
Balance.
And so, and then we've got, Monster Energy hooked us up, fueling the fires. So in between the beer and the whiskey and the coffee, we can brew our coffee with Monster.
Ooh, that sounds like something we should try. I'm sure they did that on the trip from the east to the west back in the day. Yeah,
that was, remember, I think also cocaine was a medicine then, so they just put it in water and they called that Monster.
Fair enough. I think that's how it works nowadays. We might as well try it with
it's history. I mean, you can look it up.
Yeah,
but,
it's written. Thomas Jefferson probably said that.
Yep. And then, another one is CarQuest. We could not do this without an amazing parts supplier. And Max Build Off-Road is a TechNet shop, which is, it's a host of 15,000 independent shops across the country like ourselves that band together to be able to give our customers some of that peace of mind for parts and labor warranties, roadside assistance, all that kind of stuff. So, of course, being affiliated with us and a Great American Road Trip, TechNet and CarQuest, because, as a shop board, we got to get our parts from somewhere.
Right.
And we choose CarQuest in advance. And so it's cool. It's great. I'm glad we can do our launch party from a CarQuest, have that coffee and donuts in the morning, because like I said, there's one place that if we go through a town, we're going to stop. It's going to be a CarQuest or an Advanced Auto Parts store to refresh on supplies for the wagons.
Just the wagons, right? Just the wagons.
Yep, just the wagons. And then we can go to the IGA for the rest of it. We got Renegade Race Fuel. They hooked us up. They started doing oil a couple of years ago, and like these old motors, because that's the other thing is, I'll show you guys the motor, but these things take a beating. They don't have good filtration. They don't have great oiling. They hold too much heat. They get pushed too hard, and all that means that it'll just ruin the engines. And so we need a high performance oil, and thankfully Renegade Race Fuel and Lubricants came through and hooked us up with a bunch of the oil that we can run to really protect these things. Oh, I did the thing again where I shut it off.
It's okay.
Look at this thing.
Oh, look at that piece of magic right there.
Yeah, it's like 68. 68. She's got the horsepower. Oh, you want to know how much power? Hang on, I'll show you.
Oh.
It's got...
It's got all the power. Of course it does. I think inspirational quotes...
All you need.
I think we need more inspirational quotes. I know that there's some verbiage from the last Epic Willie's Adventure on the inside of Amos. I think we're going to have to come up with some really inspiring motivational quotes to put up on the roof there. Yeah, see?
Yeah, these are some of the breakdowns.
The reminders of the breakdowns.
Oh, this one, Will died.
Oh, sad face.
And old Greg died too. But old Greg is resurrected.
Back from the dead, old Greg.
You'll always be my Huckleberry.
Oh,
What is going on here? Do you know what that means, though?
it's from Tombstone.
Yeah, but do you know what it's Hucklebearer? Do you know what that means?
I'm about to learn.
It's a pallbearer,
Oh,
and that's why he said it to that dude because it was foreshadowing dude's death because he was like, "I'll kill you, and then I'll carry you to your grave."
Tombstone is probably one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, and I just learned that little nugget about I'm your Huckleberry.
Well, just to be fair, I learned that last week. So,
so we're on the same timeline at least. We're just separated by a week, but it made it onto the inside of Amos, and we're
yeah, I guess. Also, might be a little bit of negative.
No,
foreshadowing.
I think if you put 4 hearts underneath it, it actually reverses the curse.
Good. All right. There's only 3.
Shit.
I'm
Well,
on it.
get yourself a pink crayon and start writing.
Don't worry, we got them. They're still in here from the last one.
That's awesome. Obviously, the trip ends the 27th, 28th out in Oregon City with our landing party. Yep. What do you want people who are following along with this entire story that are going to be tuning in on the social medias? By the way, everybody, again, follow Epic Willie's Adventure on Instagram and Facebook to stay up with what we're doing. Like, what are you hoping to bring to them? Obviously, it is an adventure. It is, we're not doing this in new vehicles. We're not doing this, with the luxury of air conditioning or hope. We really just have each other. And luckily, you have the knowledge base to fix things along the side of the road. But for people to be able to kind of travel along with us from Independence, Missouri, out to Oregon City, Oregon, like what message and what are we trying to show those who are following along about this trip?
I think it's do something that makes you uncomfortable. Do something that people think is crazy. Do something that is epic. Be epic. And I think that comes, live a little vicariously through us to get a little idea on how you can do it yourself, but go out and do it. A lot of people ask me, like, how do I get in on this? I said, you call your friends and you do it yourself. That's how. And then they look at it and it's like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And it's just too many people sit around talking about things that they wish they could do. This impacts my life. This impacts my pocketbook. This, by any accountant in the country that would review my P&L statement after this month, would say you shut your shop down. You pay your guys to take them out on a 2.5, 3 week excursion across the country. That's horrible. Don't do that ever again. But for me, I don't really care about that. And like, we can make more money somehow. We'll figure that out. It isn't about being sure. I'd love to be able to support it easier by selling some shirts or making some great YouTube videos and have some ad space because people like to watch it because we can share it with people. That would make life a little bit easier. But would it? I don't know. It's just sometimes you like the that's the risk. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the doing the epic thing. So I don't know. Just do it. Even if you. I don't want people to be like, well, it must be nice to just be able to take 3 weeks. It sucks, man. It's not easy. It's hard. The logistics is difficult. And it's not just 2.5 weeks on the road. It's weeks before and weeks after and preparation and sacrifice from the family to just go have fun out on the road. And then like, we'll talk about if it's fun when we're actually having it. We'll laugh a lot after.
Yeah. After you survive something, you usually laugh about it. Like, oh, that was. Remember that one time with the snake, and the dysentery? Yeah. That was wild, man. No, man, I'm super stoked. I can't wait to get on the road and to be a part of this Epic Willie's adventure with you and the entire crew. And I know that there's a ton of people out there across the country who are anticipating our departure and our journey and be able to follow along with us and hopefully everybody does and we get on the other end and then we sit around a fire and tell the story. So make sure everybody check out the podcast. We're going to be doing those on a regular basis on Epic as well. So it'll be super fun, man. You ready?
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you get back to finishing getting ready. and then we'll.
Yeah, I just need to pack. Hey, when are you gonna bring? You'll bring your stuff down Thursday morning.
Yeah, I'll bring my stuff down Thursday morning, and then since I'll probably overpack, we'll just throw the rest of the shit in the dumpster over there, and off we go.
Yeah. Hey. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it, man.
All right, we can always buy it. They have their stores across America too, so that's good.
I've heard of these things. If we get too bad, I can just start making my own stuff upon the Oregon Trail like they had to do back then. Like I'll just whittle myself
exactly. Or we just beat other people up and take their stuff. No, we barter.
Barter, yes. Barter so we can forage
animal
the river.
Pelts.
I'll start packing my animal pelts.
All right, cool.
In the back of Anus. All right, Phil Norvold, Maxfield Off-Road and Manufacturing, Epic Blaze Adventure. We'll see you in a couple days, my friend.
All right. So
there we go. Doing this thing. Epic Blaze Adventure. EpicBlazeAdventure.com is the website. And again, on the social medias at Epic Blaze Adventure, Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, Bethany, for watching and for liking the stream. Appreciate that. A lot of people over here in the chat. It's going to be a blast. Like super duper excited to get on the road with the entire crew. Thursday, departure for Kansas City. Friday morning, departing for Oregon City in Willie's Jeeps. It's going to be fun. Tomorrow, again, Joe Catella from the band Dead joins the program, and that is our last show before Epic. So tune in, have fun, have a great Tuesday. We out of here. Peace and love and harmony. As much as we can do. Also, thanks to Tyler Hammond for being on the show earlier today. Great chat with him. I've Been Better is the song. If you haven't heard it, go and check it out. Video is also published on YouTube as well. Good stuff today. Have a great night. Peace.